The Porsche 911 is more than just a car. It's an icon, a legend, and the heartbeat of the sports car world. But the 911 isn't the only masterpiece to come out of Zuffenhausen. Today, we're diving into 10 incredible Porsches that prove there's far more to this brand than its most famous model. And some of them might just blow your mind. 1. Porsche 904 GTS. In the early 60s, Porsche was still struggling as a manufacturer. It was a small company with one successful model, the 356, and an ambitious racing department. Although the rear engine configuration was Porsche's signature feature from the beginning, in 1964, the company introduced one very advanced mid-engine model, the 904 GTS. It was a barely disguised race car with the engine in the middle, a fiberglass body, and a drag coefficient of 0.34 Cw. The 904 GTS was immediately very successful on the track and produced in several versions, including flat 4, 6, and even 8-cylinder engines. The car was built over 2 years, 1964 to 1965, and Porsche only made 108. Its influence is impressive as it paved the way for Porsche's 906, 908, and 917 racing cars, which created history. Today, the 904 GTS is not widely known. Still, it was a groundbreaking model, not just for its racing success, but for its advanced construction, use of innovative materials like fiberglass, and amazing looks. 2. Porsche Tractor. People think that Porsche was a high-end car company right from the start, but this is not true. In the early days, Porsche was a small engineering outfit that took various jobs to stay profitable. One of them was the production of agricultural machinery. Most car enthusiasts think that Porsche only made thoroughbred sports cars, but Porsche produced several models of tractors. The conventional wisdom tells us that the first Porsche diesel was a 2009 Cayenne with a 3.0 TDI engine. But in 1956, Porsche introduced the Porsche Diesel Super Tractor with an air-cooled 3-cylinder oil burner. Not something you would expect from a prestigious brand like Porsche. But the company didn't do anything profitable in those post-war years. The Porsche tractors were reasonably successful and sold in many European countries. They lasted until 1963, and the company stopped making tractors in preparation for the production of the brand new model, the 911. 3. Porsche 912. What looks like the 911, sounds almost like the 911, goes a bit slower, and is a bit cheaper. Well, the answer is the 912. It's no secret that during the initial years, 911 had trouble finding buyers, and the company was very concerned. The solution was a cheaper, slower, but equally beautiful entry-level model called 912. Introduced in 1965 and sold until 1969, this was basically a stripped-down 911 with a 1.6-liter flat-4 engine. The engine was borrowed from a discontinued model, the 356. Low on power, but with excellent fuel economy, the 912 sold over 30,000 examples, keeping the company afloat and promoting the 911's timeless shape. It is ironic that the cheaper and less exciting 912 actually was the car that saved the 911. In 1975, Porsche introduced the 912e for the American market with the 2.0-liter engine and the same idea, but this model only lasted a year. 4. Porsche Cayenne GTS Manual. It's no secret that Porsche faced intense criticism from brand pursuits for introducing the Cayenne, the first ever SUV from this company. Rightfully, the fans thought that this was a compromise and that Porsche had made a soft SUV for posers and soccer moms, not true fans of performance driving. However, what fans didn't realize at the time was the fact that the enormous popularity of this model and financial success helped build more sports cars and fuel further racing endeavors. However, do not dismiss the Cayenne as an expensive and boring SUV, as it conceals a hidden gem within its range, the Cayenne GTS with a 6-speed manual transmission. This model combines an unmistakable Porsche feel with a 4.8-liter naturally aspirated V8 engine and the control only a manual transmission can offer. Produced between 2008 and 2010, this outstanding performance SUV is a definitive future classic and one of the rarest Cayenne models ever made, about 134 examples. If you can, grab one today and watch its value grow. 5. Porsche 944 Turbo S. In the 70s, Porsche started investing in front-engine models, which were a stark departure from the 911 engineering layout. Some say that the company was very keen on cutting ties with the 911 narrative. Models like 924, 928, and 944 were popular and showed that Porsche can build world-class machines without flat-six engines. The 944 was a special model with transaxle transmission, fantastic handling, and great potential. In its standard form, it was relatively slow, but when Porsche introduced the 944 Turbo S with 250 horsepower, fans started to take notice. All of a sudden, a Porsche with a turbo engine appeared, boasting enough power to propel the light and nimble 944 to 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 6 seconds, and reach a top speed of 170 miles per hour. It was almost as fast as the 911 Turbo, but handled better and was cheaper to buy and maintain. For years, the 944 Turbo was overlooked by fans, but recently, prices have started going up, and a new generation of fans is discovering this little but feisty turbocharged gem. 6. Porsche Cayman GT4. For years, the talk of the car industry was an alleged conspiracy deep inside the Porsche management to keep the Boxster/Cayman combo of getting the 911 engine. Apparently, somebody was afraid that a lighter and nimbler chassis paired with more power and torque would be better and faster than any 911. We were not entirely sure, but we became suspicious when Porsche announced the GT4 in 2015. Finally, we had a Cayman, which was not a 911 for poor people, but a proper razor of a car with more than enough power to hunt almost any 911 on the twisty road. For the 2020 model year, Porsche announced a brand new 718 Cayman GT4, made with the same recipe, a 4.0-liter flat-six engine from the 911, precisely turned chassis, brakes, and steering. The power output is more than respectable, at 414 horsepower, which means the 718 Cayman GT4 is ridiculously fast and much more of a real sports car than the modern 911, which has grown bigger, heavier, and more boring. 7. Porsche 928 GTS. The Porsche 928 was the most ambitious project the company ever undertook, and from the start, it was a model designed to replace the 911. You see, in the early 70s, 911 sales began to decline, and the car was already a 10-year-old model. The company envisioned an utterly modern, very advanced, and V8-powered Gran Turismo successor to reclaim the top spot in enthusiast hearts. When the 928 debuted in 1978, the sports car community was stunned. In contrast to the 911, which still had some VW Beetle cues, the 928 looked like it came from another planet. Despite having less than 300 horsepower in the early 928s, the car was fast and designed for effortless cruising and driving across continents in comfort, speed, and luxury. With transaxle transmission, all-aluminum V8, aerodynamic body, and space-age interior, the 928 was one of the most advanced cars of its era. The pinnacle 928 model is arguably the GTS, with a 5.4-liter V8, 345 horsepower, and suspension tweaks that make driving especially pleasurable. Even though the 928 didn't replace the 911, it created something even more astonishing and managed to deliver driving feel and GT performance that the 911 never could. 8. Porsche 356 Carrera GS. It is no secret that the Porsche 356 was just a little more than a glorified Volkswagen Beetle. The two cars shared many parts, engine configurations, and overall designs, but the 356 was slightly faster and more powerful. However, at the end of the 356 production, an interesting and fast model emerged that was much more advanced and capable than anything VW related. We are talking about 356 Carrera GS2, a pinnacle of engineering and predecessor to modern GT3 models. Using a very advanced and complicated twin-cam and 4-valve 2.0-liter racing engine, Porsche could extract 130 horsepower and make a high-speed, but also costly road-going machine. Produced in the mid-60s when 911 was already making headlines, nobody really paid any attention to the fantastic 356 Carrera GS2. That is why Porsche made only 101 coupes and 30 convertibles. 9. Porsche 550 Spyder. Produced for just 2 years between 1953 and 1955, 550 Spyders left an everlasting mark on sports car history. This was an open-top race car for the street and the ultimate evolution of the Porsche 356 model. Porsche knew that the 356 could be evolved into something more than just a faster Beetle, and the 550 was it. It was an immensely successful race car and a very exclusive road-going model. Behind the passengers was a 1.5-liter flat-4 engine with just 110 horsepower. But since the whole car weighed just 500 kilograms, it was more than enough for blistering performance, at least for the standards of the day. The idea behind the 550 was to offer customers a fast and race-ready model that could be driven on the track on Sunday and to work on Monday. Compared to some other similar cars from the era, the 550 was a dependable, easy to work on, and reliable machine, regardless of the use. It was the perfect choice for a well-to-do enthusiast racer. This model could have been forgotten if not for the unfortunate circumstances that made it legendary. The Hollywood icon James Dean owned a 550 Spyder and was killed driving it in 1955. 10. Porsche 959. Porsche 959 is one of the fastest, most advanced, and technologically complex supercars of the 80s. The 959 was a super Porsche in every way, not only by design, but also by performance and price. It was a perfect blend of experience from racing, the latest technology, along with turbocharging, everything in one car. The 959. Introduced in 1987, the 959 featured a 3.0-liter turbocharged flat-6 engine with 450 horsepower, transferred to all four wheels via an intelligent AWD system, a first for Porsche. The car was also equipped with traction control, ABS, and a host of electronic systems that helped the driver. Although this is now standard in most new cars, it was considered space-age technology in the late 80s. The performance of this technological tour de force was also astonishing. The 0 to 60 mile per hour sprint was possible in just 3.7 seconds.